Okay, so today we're going to talk about how you shouldn't stay just for the kids. But before we do, I have to share something crazy that happened with me, with you, with me. I'm gonna share it with me. Um, so I had to leave today and go do some things, and I get down to the end of the road. I'm sitting at the stop sign, and everybody driving by me is like staring at my car, and I'm like, listen, I know my car ain't that great looking, so why is everybody staring? And I'm not like off the side of the road too far. I'm not out in the middle too far. My nose ain't sticking out in the damn highway. Why is everybody staring at me? So finally, enough traffic passes that I can pull out. And as I'm pulling out, you know, you kind of look down at the lines, right? You look at your hood, kind of judge all that. And as I look down at the nose of my car, I see exactly why everybody's staring at me. Dude, I had a mouse plastered, split open, guts strung across, all over my damn hood. And I'm like, oh my God, this is why everybody's staring at me, because I've got a new hood ornament that I didn't even ask for. Thank you very much to the cats for their gift. But yeah, so I had to pull over at the first gas station, get a bag out of the back of the car, wipe this damn thing off my hood, totally dropped it on the ground. I'm so embarrassed. I'm like, I hope nobody sees me. There's people all around me. Somebody had to have seen me. Right?
You're probably on video somewhere.
I probably am. And I'm just like, oh Jesus, I'm not even going to try to pick up that mouse again now. I just threw the bag in a little trash can thing, got back in my car. I'm out of there. But I was like, I am so embarrassed. There was freaking mouse guts splattered across my car.
Yuck. That's nasty.
Yeah. So anyway, I got that out of my system now. Lots of people get married, everything's going great, they have kids, and then they start growing apart. Life gets crazy. Like there's no way to like make it work. And a lot of us, I'm guilty of it too, we stay for the kids. And you have this really like great story of one of your adult kids saying something to you that really hit home and made this like something we should talk about. So we shouldn't stay for the kids, right?
No, we shouldn't stay for the kids. I did that. We were all miserable. Like we were all miserable, but I thought I was doing the right thing. You were always taught keep your family together, keep your family together, keep your family together.
Broken family.
But we had some good times. We were married for almost 20 years. I would say probably 12 of the years was good years. And I have two wonderful kids for it, and I wouldn't change it for the world. But the one thing I would change is I wouldn't stay as long as I did when we really knew it was over. Like we tried to work it out. We did a lot of things. We
Therapy,
wanted to make it work.
Counseling, you did the whole 9 yards.
We went to church. We
Right.
we did we did everything we could do, but we just couldn't live together anymore. Like
because you were two totally different people.
Yeah,
at that point.
I was 17 when we got married. He's 3 years older than me, so 20.
Yeah.
And I didn't, I'd always been at home. I was still in school. I went back to school. I graduated. We had a great life. We had 2 kids. But
and it was great for a long time. It really
was
great.
really good. Like it was really good until it wasn't good.
Yeah, because you guys used to kind of be like my role model and many people's role model for what a marriage should look like, right? You really were great for a long time, and then like you grew up.
Yeah, I agree.
You got out in the workforce, learned your independence, realized that you weren't really meshing with him, and he wasn't meshing with you.
Yeah, we just
meshing
changed.
With you.
We just changed as people.
Yeah,
and we just grew apart. Like, we just grew apart.
Yeah.
But I left a couple times. I'd go stay at my mom's, and I'd come home. My kids didn't want to go anywhere. My son, he always wanted to. He only went to one school in his whole entire life. He didn't want to go to a different school. He was at that middle school, in high school,
Yeah, and
grade.
that's hard. Those are hard
And
years anyway.
he's very backwards, and I guess he's more of an introvert at the time. So it was like detrimental to him. Like he didn't want to go anywhere.
Yeah.
So I would go stay at my mom's, and I'd come back, and I'd stay at my mom's, and I'd come back, because I couldn't just up and leave him. And so I would just stay. And then when I finally did, we finally decided we were going to get divorced, and I moved out. Um, my daughter came to me one day, and she was like, "You should have just done it earlier." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "You should have done it earlier. You're much happier. Your dad are much happier apart
Both
than you
of
were
you.
together."
You're both, and the kids too, right? I
The
mean,
kids too. So my
everybody-
advice to anyone out there who's contemplating divorce, and you do everything you can to whether, and you come to the final decision that, hey, it's time for for y'all to separate. My advice would be just bite the bullet into it, because you're really affecting your kids more by
Right.
staying together. Like it does something to them. Seeing you unhappy, seeing their parents unhappy, and
right.
walking on eggshells around each other.
I want to do a sound bite. Bite the bullet and just do it, like Nike.
And not like
Okay,
Nike.
not like Nike, but you know what I mean.
but
just do it.
But yes, really, really, really think long and hard about it, because you don't want to do it. Just
Everybody
for the
suffers.
kids.
Everybody suffers, and we don't realize that at the time. I mean, even in my own experience as a child, when my parents were still trying to stay together, they were married 25, 26 years, something like that, and they were trying to stay together for the kids.
Yeah, it's not
And
like to
we
have.
could see that our mom was miserable, our dad was miserable, we were miserable when they were arguing, and we could tell when they were trying to fake it, right? And just
Mhm.
pretend they were happy to go on a vacation or go camping or something. And it wasn't as fun anymore. Like
But-
all that fun just kind of goes out the window.
But what I will say is, if you do decide to do it, that the parents need to be adults, and they need to act like adults, and they need to co-parent, because those
Yes.
children don't deserve parents that are at each other's throats all the time. And
Yes.
thank God that me and my ex-husband, we did that. We're not great. We get along. We can do functions together. We don't dog each other. But
Yeah, you're not like BFFs.
we're not BFFs either, because we are different people now. But you do need to suck it up for your kids. That is very, very important to do that, because your kids need both parents, not just one parent.
100%. Yeah. Yeah, all kids need a dad and all kids need a mom. And in your situation, you were the one that actually left the home.
I did. I left the home to my husband, and
Yeah.
the kids were there. My daughter, she was already out on her own, so it was just my son. But
Yeah.
I did leave the home, and
And that in itself was kind of one of them life experiences too, because you're like me, we've been kind of judgy about people, and we're like, how could a mom ever leave her kids and let the dad have them? She must be an unfit mom if she lets the dad raise them.
But that's
actually,
not true.
that's not true.
Because he needed to be with his dad. He was a young man, and he needed to be with his dad. And I'm not saying I didn't see him or go, we didn't do things and stuff like that.
No, you didn't abandon him.
Yeah.
But you were the one that left the home, and that gave your son the opportunity to remain in the same school with the same friends, and pretty much all of his life stayed the same, except mom wasn't there every day.
And that was really hard for me too, because I went from being in high school to being a wife to being a mother, and always depending on somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, I only had myself to depend on. That's a whole other topic. But it was life changing for everybody. It really was.
Yeah. And I think a lot of times, even, I'm glad you brought that up, because I think a lot of times people don't just stay for the kids, they also stay because they're scared. Because it's like legit scary
Mm-hmm.
to step out there on your own and be the only one that you can count on. You're the only provider now. You're the only one that's going to pay those bills or buy those groceries and make sure you get fed.
I had never lived on my own before.
And and that's me. Like, I've been married 5 damn times trying to make that shit work. and 7 kids, and I went straight from living with my family and being the youngest of 7 to having my own family and ending up with 7. So I had never been on my own, you know. I wasn't even really single for very long. I think the longest I was ever single was maybe a year before I would end up meeting somebody else and thinking he's going to be the one, right? And for me, my mistake was always looking for the fairy tale, and the fairy tale ain't real.
No, it's not.
It ain't real. There ain't no Prince Charming. I mean, yeah, there's some great guys in the world. Don't get me wrong. There's some great guys. But if you don't know yourself and you don't love yourself and you're not confident in yourself enough to know who you are and what you want from life, no some bitch out there is going to be the right some bitch for you. None of them.
Exactly.
And that's why all my marriages, well, not the only reason, but that's why my marriages haven't worked out yet. That's why me being a married person is not working out. Because I had to grow, I had to learn who I am, I had to be confident in me and independent. And then I also had to know, what does my perfect match look like? Because it ain't just some swinging dick that comes along saying he loves you and he's going to promise you the sun and the moon.
And
right?
It changes.
And it does change as you grow up. It does change. But at the core, I still want the same kind of person. Like at my core. I still want somebody that gets me, that accepts me, whether they want to do the same things I do or not. I want them to be able to be like, yeah, that's just who she is. Because you know me, I'm eccentric.
You're very quirky.
I'm quirky. I like to do some weird and wild things sometimes. And I ain't afraid to try new things. I'm not, I like to be out there. I like to do stuff. I'm loud and whatever.
Loud and proud.
Loud and proud. And a lot of people are very reserved, and they, I'm embarrassing to them or whatever. And so now I know better what kind of person I need. I don't need that person that just promises you those things, right? Because words are cheap. Words are cheap.
Actions
Actions are where it's at. Yeah. Because, every one of them, they swooped me right off my feet, had me totally convinced that they were the one. And then, no, they weren't.
Then the curtain fell down, right?
Yeah.
You see what was behind
And I
the
got
curtain?
tangled up in it and tripped down the stairs and ended up on the bottom of it feeling butt-ass naked.
Well.
That's how it happened for me, every time. It always makes me feel like I'm the failure because I'm not a good chooser, or I wasn't anyway. I wasn't a good picker. That's the way to say it. I wasn't a good picker. Yeah. Now I know how to be a good picker. But I think we learn as we grow, right? We learn as we get older, and now I totally get it. Like how our parents and our aunts, uncles, grandparents, they were always like, "You'll understand when you get older." And at the time, we're young, we're young adults, and we're like, well, we already know all this, And just like you and your husband, when you got married, there wasn't a shred of thought in your mind that you guys wouldn't live together until you're old and gray and one of you died.
We were together 20 years. That's a long time.
Yeah.
But it's not what I thought. I thought we would, we'd be on the front porch and rocking chairs together.
Right. Sharing your Geritol.
With our grandkids and their kids and, so.
And life always throws stuff at you and sends you down curves and turns that you didn't expect. So.
But if you don't have those, you don't grow. So.
And that's true. That's true. You won't grow. But I think, the best I can hope for, and this is me personally speaking, because I got 7 kids that I've drugged through 5 marriages, right? So the best I can hope for is that I didn't sling too much mud up on them, going through the freaking mud trails instead of driving on the road where it's paved. That's my thing. You don't want to do too much damage, and I think that's the point of not staying, also, because you're going to do more harm than good by staying if you don't bite the bullet.
Yes.
If you're not brave enough to just go ahead and
if you make the decision that if you can't be together, then you just need to not be together. Don't prolong it.
Yeah, it's like taking a Band-Aid off.
Yeah, rip that
bitch
bad
off.
boy. I was going to say that, but bad boy off.
Yeah, rip it off like you're getting a wax. Don't be trying to pussyfoot around about it. Yeah, just rip it off. Because I think everybody's better off in the long run. to do it that way.
Yeah, I think you have less resentment and hatred between one another, and maybe it'll make you maybe it'll make you better co-parenting if you
Yeah.
don't have all that anger and frustration built up where you try to take it out on each other.
Right. I was just thinking, actually, clearly that was never my issue. I didn't have no problem leaving. I'd just be like, pack the bags, kids, we're going. We're going again. But it wasn't like I threw in the towel easy either, because, I mean, my longest marriage was 15 years. I'm always in it to win it, but it's just, I haven't won nothing yet. Haven't won no prizes except the children.
Yep,
They're
I agree with
They're
that.
the only prizes I got from any of those
Yep.
relationships.
I wouldn't trade any of my experiences in my life because I wouldn't be where I am today.
Exactly. Yeah.
Everything is a learning lesson and makes you grow, makes you a better person.
And you can always find blessings in even the most ridiculous or painful
Mhm.
experiences in life. You just have to be able to shift your perspective. And I don't know that we all have that capability, maybe, until we start to get a little older and have more experience. You know? Because I think it would have been harder for me to see the blessings and the gratitude in things in my 20s or my 30s
Mhm.
versus my 40s and my 50s, right?
Mhm.
But so if we can pass that on to you all and spare you the drama,
I know, and there's
I
probably a
hope
bunch
you
of
young people are listening.
I would say there's a bunch of young people out there going, yeah, what do they know?
I hope you young people are listening.
Trust me, we know a lot. We've been through a lot. You would be surprised at what both of us have been through.
A lot.
We went through a lot.
Yeah, we certainly have. So yeah, I think maybe that's a good place to even end this. We really hope that we're helping by sharing our experiences, our life experiences, and our life hacks at figuring things out. And maybe because we have finally figured them out, you won't have to go through the same dumbass tests and obstacles in life that we've went through, right? Like maybe you can actually be wiser and younger all at the same time, the way that we thought we were.
And if our experiences just help one person,
It made a difference.
it makes a difference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. 100%. All right. I need my cameraman over here. Thank you very much. Did yours turn off? No. Okay. Thank you very much, and we will see you again next week.
God bless.